Hello friends, I want to give you some tips on what to do when you don't crave vegetables. So I don't know if you've ever experienced this where your cravings sort of go in waves. Like there will be times where you'll be really interested in eating vegetables and it doesn't feel forced and it's not hard and you're craving things like salads or cucumbers and hummus, or you're craving roasted veggies and eating them feels just like intuitive and natural and it doesn't feel like a chore. And then there are going to be times where a salad sounds like the very last thing you want, where the mere thought of vegetables just turns your stomach. So what do you do? How can we navigate those seasons? I'll use a personal example because I recently had one of those seasons where it was like a week where I noticed I was really just craving treats or like carbs or what you might consider comfort foods. And there's a couple ways that we could navigate this. We could be like, all right, well, that's not cool. You need to eat a balanced diet. So I could have forced myself to eat vegetables. But you know what I did instead is I said, just kind of observed it neutrally and said, this must be what my body needs right now. This just must be what I need. And so I'm just going to go ahead and get it out of my system. I'm just going to let myself have what it is that I feel like I want, and trust that those cravings for vegetables are going to come back. And they did. So when I noticed that I was craving just a lot of, kind of like, well, I think part of it is the seasons changing, that you crave more like, I just wanted pastas and casseroles and things like that, and like fall foods and warm, comforting meals. And so I do think part of that is the changing of the seasons. But for me, and this can be the benefit of working with a coach or a certified professional, they can help you pinpoint these wonky things that happen in our relationship with food. I was able to see, why am I like craving all of this stuff? Like I wanted more like warm, like lattes, like fancy, like coffee drinks that I normally don't get. And I know this is like just dripping with privilege. But I was like, why do I want these things? And I think it's because the week before I unintentionally was under eating quite a bit. I was exercising more than I normally exercise, and I really don't think I was fueling properly, which, life happens and we're not always going to get it right, and that's okay. But I think that's why the following week, because the body always knows how to compensate and the body knows how to get its needs met one way or another at some point. So what ended up happening was I think my body was craving carbs as a way to just level out again, because carbs are the body's primary and preferred source of energy, and it is the macronutrient that we need the most of. And so it makes sense that my body was just trying to get what it needed. And I was able to know that, like having that insight, it helped me also to not judge it or shame it and just be like, oh, that makes sense. Like this is something that my body needs, just very neutral. And then I also have this level of trust that my body is going to crave what it needs. And so I know that the cravings for vegetables, I don't need to worry that much. They're right around the corner. And sure enough, yesterday I went to Trader Joe's, and you know what looked really good to me? Zucchini, broccoli, and kale. And I didn't have to force it. So that's my advice to you is, when you feel like you're just craving these foods that you're judging yourself for craving, if you don't let yourself have them, it's just going to make matters worse for you. And you think maybe it'll pass, and it doesn't. Ultimately, you're probably just going to end up binging on the thing that you really want, or you're going to try and just like be eating random foods that aren't scratching the itch, and then you eat past comfortable fullness and you're overeating, and it just really isn't good for your relationship with food. So when you notice that you're wanting something or you're craving something, if you can just be like, this just must be what I need right now, and like let that be okay, and trust that your body knows how to get what it needs over time, then it helps you create a lot of ease and peace around food and your body. So yeah, I think that's most of what I have to say there. I hope that that's helpful for you so that you don't freak out if you aren't like craving vegetables, because I think there really is a lot of pressure to like eat healthy and eat quote unquote clean. And so when you feel like you aren't doing that, it can create this like panic, but your body's really going to be okay. And you can have a wide variety of foods foods that are fun and tasty and pleasurable and nourishing, and be in good health. In fact, you are best positioned to be in good health if you are getting that variety. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I have decided to offer one-off sessions just for a limited time only, and just do some intensives. So if you just want to book one session with me, if you want to pinpoint what's going on in your relationship with food, or something recently happened that you need some support in with food, your body, or you want some tools to help you be positioned for success once the holidays roll around, now would be a really, really good time to book an intensive with me. So I'm getting it all set up, but if you're interested, just send me a DM or comment on this video, and I'd be happy to help set that up with you. And then I'll be sharing more in my stories in the coming days. All right, you guys, you can always click the links in my bio to apply for a call, to check out my online course, things like that. But yeah, let me know what you need. All right, love you. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Goodbye.